What's up YouTube? Snorlax Packs here again with another video. We're going to look at a few more budget decks, single prize decks, no double prize Pokemon in these decks. I feel like it's a lot more fun. I really wish Pokemon would bring out a single prize, ranked casual single prize. That would really be fun. We're going to go through about 3 or 4 decks, and again, I don't think these are world beaters. I think they can be improved on. I just want to get into that mindset of creating these sort of decks, being able to read the cards, come up with some fun ways of using different Pokemon, different abilities. I hope you enjoy it. First one we're going to look at is Kecleon, and we've called it a Kecleon ×3 single prize deck because the ×3 is in regards to Kecleon's attack. So its spinning attack does 90 damage. You can change Kecleon into any type of Pokemon you want in regards to energy, which means it can be any Pokemon's weakness depending on what energy you put on it. We use that with super effective glasses, and that does ×3 weakness. So we have a lot of different energies in there depending on what we go up against. We can put what energy we want on, and then we can ×3 that weakness by using the super effective glasses, which should do damage of 90 ×3, which is 270 hit point damage. I'm using a Bidoof Bibarel line in there to draw some cards. That helps us accelerate cards into our hand. And we also have a Remoraid Octillery line in there just in case we get stuck for bringing out the Rapid Strike energies. And also we have a couple of Karina's Force if we need it. And if we're struggling to switch our Pokemon, we've got a couple of Tower of Waters in there as well. So I'll post all the decks that we talk about in the links below. Give them a go, change them round to suit your playstyle. Let me know how it goes. Hope you have fun with it. It can be a very strong deck, I believe, if you come across the right powerful Pokemon and you can get set up straight away. We've got Snorlax and Gormandize in there just in case you need to get that into active to bring out a few more cards on your first turn. That's always a popular card for me. Okay, so that's deck number 1. We're not going to go into any games today. I feel like they take too long. We're just going to go through the decks that I've created just to give you some ideas. If you're not aware, deck number 2, I've called it the Curse of Zoro. If you are not aware, Hisuian Zoroark has now been taken off the banned list. Its attack does not need any energy for Doom Curse, and this attack, let me read it out, says at the end of your opponent's next turn, the defending Pokemon will be knocked out. That's a very strong attack. Only stage 1, so you could easily get a Zoroark out on turn 2 and attack with Doom Curse. The main thing of this deck is to control your opponent's deck. Try and get them so that they are struggling accelerating energies onto their Pokemon and controlling which Pokemon you want in the active. And by doing that, we put 4 Crushing Hammers in here, 4 Fan of Waves, we have Tool Jammers, Tool Scrappers, Galar Mine ×4, which is the retreat cost ×2 more. Costs 2 more to retreat your Pokemon out of active. I was playing about with possibly 2 Galar Mines and maybe 2 Path to the Peaks. But again, I'll let you decide. We've got 4 switches, because we will want to try and get Snorlax into active first and get a bench full of Zoroarks ready. You don't have to accelerate any energy onto them, so the only energy we've got is 1 Twin Energy, just in case we get stuck and Miltank needs to take over inactive against a lot of Pokemon Vs just while you get your deck ready on the bench. And you can still attack using Route. Or if you're feeling really lucky, you can bring Radiant Jirachi into active and try out your Astral Misfortune. But the reason I put Radiant Jirachi in there is only for its ability, really. If it gets knocked out, you can get 3 cards from your deck. I'd love to see what other people's versions of a Zoroark deck look like, so if anyone wants to post their decks in the comments, I'd love to give it a try. Take any improvements on board if anyone has any suggestions. Okay, so that's deck number 2. Deck number 3 is something I've played quite a bit with. I quite like this one. I've called it Poison Fang. It is a Raticate Garbodor deck. So Raticate Super Fang puts damage counters on your opponent's active Pokemon until its remaining HP is 10. So no matter how big and bulky that Pokemon is you're coming up against, Mew VMAX 310 or 330, it whittles it down to 10 hit points, and if you have a Garbodor on your bench and a Stadium in your active, a Stadium in play, sorry, you get to put that extra 10 hit points on your opponent's active Pokemon, which takes him out, wipes it out. And a good thing about this Raticate as well, if you can't set up your Garbodor on your bench, is the tool card you use is Panic Mask. And what that does is prevent all damage done to the Pokemon this card is attached to by attacks from your opponent's Pokemon that have 40 HP or less. So if you can only attack with Raticate Super Fang and you haven't had chance to set up a Garbodor yet to take out that extra 10 hit points of your opponent's active Pokemon, as long as you get a Panic Mask on your Raticate, it's very unlikely that your opponent can attack. Or it makes it harder, at least. There are ways around it. We have a few peers in there. We'll look for any dark Pokemon we like, which helps us out, and any energies. We've got 4 hiding energies in case we need to retreat any Pokemon, and we have 4 twin energies to help bolster up Raticate's attack quickly, and just 2 normal dark energies just in case, just for fun. A few fan of waves because the deck it likes to put us up against is the Mew VMAX, and which means when you do get put up against Mew VMAX, Miltank is pretty much obsolete in that attack because they have, is it Max Miracle? Yeah, Max Miracle. That attack isn't affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon, so that will take your Miltank out if they can attack with that. What they also like to use on Mew VMAX against this deck is the Fusion Strike energy, special energy. As long as this is attached to a Pokemon, it provides every type of energy, but only provides 1 energy at a time, and it prevents all effects of your opponent's Pokemon's abilities done to the Pokemon this card is attached to. So that makes your Garbodor ability obsolete. You cannot poison a Pokemon with that fusion energy on. Hence 3 fan of waves to help you attack. And there's one more thing that Mew VMAX likes to use, and that is the Big Parasol. If your opponent inactive has the Big Parasol on their Pokemon, you will not be able to use Raticate's Super Fang attack. It doesn't work. Because it is an effect of an attack. It's not damage. It's putting damage counters on, which is prevented. So to offset that, we've got Tool Scrapper, we've got a Lost Vacuum. Both will help get rid of the Big Parasol, hopefully, if needed. Let me know how that one goes. That's I enjoy using that one in ranked play. A Super Salazzle deck is our next one. I've found out, I don't know if anyone has seen this, but on your first turn, you need to go first, get a Salandit on your bench, and get Caterpie ready, but don't put it on your bench, because you need Caterpie, Metapod, and Butterfree all in your hand. Because what you can do is evolve Caterpie to a Metapod, evolve Metapod to a Butterfree, all in one hit. A stage 2 Pokemon in one hit. But what that does, the ability is Tricoloured Scales. You may make your opponent's active Pokemon burned, confused, and poisoned. So that's 3. That's 3 special conditions that you're putting onto your opponent's active Pokemon. Using Salazzle's Derisive Roasting, that means this attack does 90 damage for each special condition affecting your opponent's active Pokemon. So that's 270 damage. If it's a Pokemon V-Star, got Choice Belt in there to do 300 damage. I always like a Canceling Cologne in there because it puts you up against Eternatus decks where they put the Wheezing into active and that nullifies any abilities. So if you're trying to evolve your Caterpie into a Butterfree and Wheezing was in your opponent's active, you wouldn't be able to do that in one turn. What's really good with this is also if you could attack on the next turn as well and you have a Scoop Up Net, you can just scoop up your Butterfree and evolve your Caterpie into Butterfree straight away and go all over again for another 270 damage. We have a Sobble Drizzile Inteleon line in there just to get all any cards out that you need to Evolution Incense so that you can get all 3 evolution cards of your Caterpie. 4 level balls, which gets out Caterpie and Metapod, also Sobble and Drizzile, and also gets Salandit and Salazzle. So a lot of choice there. I'm only using double energies. Obviously, if you use the double turbo energy, that takes 20 less damage off your total amount. So if you were about to do 270, you only do 250. It doesn't take 20 off each 90 hit. It only takes 20 off the total amount at the end. So again, another very fun deck. Another card that I only found just by reading through a few cards, looking at Pokemon's abilities. Thought that's would be fun to use in a deck. We've put Miltank in there to try and block your opponent's attacks while you're setting up your bench maybe. If you can't find your Salandit straight away, Miltank might help you out with that. And also you've got the energies in case you needed to attack with Miltank as well. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3. We've shown you 4 there. Have we got any more? We've shown you the Salamanca single prize. We'll just briefly go through this, but there is a full video of actually playing a game of this if you want to check that out. Salamanca is if your opponent's active Pokemon already has any damage counters on it, this attack does 120 more damage, so 220 for an opponent's Pokemon that already has damage onto it. For that reason, we've done a 3-3-3 line of Sobble, Drizzile, and Rapid Strike Inteleon, which does quick shooting 2 damage counters. We also use some Sparkmoth, where people try to move their Pokemon to the bench during the turn, puts 2 damage counters on that Pokemon. Possible better one than that would be Gape Joe Bog. Whenever a player puts a basic Pokemon from their hand onto their bench, put 2 damage counters on that Pokemon. That's a good one as well. It runs with 4 rare candies so that you can try and accelerate Salamanca onto Bagan. We don't use the stage 1. We only use Bagon and Salamanca. And once again, you'll notice I do like Snorlax. I do like my Gourmandize. It's a very good card to have inactive from the beginning to accelerate cards into your hand. And I'm just going to have a look, see if there are any more that I've forgot about. Single prize decks. I don't think so. Okay, so we've shown you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 single prize decks there that we've just come up with, just tried tinkering around with. Definitely room for improvement there, but hopefully that gives you some ideas on making your own decks. Hope you liked the video. Please like and subscribe if you did. I appreciate your time as always. Snorlax packs will be back. Hopefully we're getting our graded cards back very soon, so there are a few possibilities of some good hits in there. I've got the Charizard from Celebrations. I have the Alt Art Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX from Chilling Reigns, and a few other cards from the more recent Silver Tempest, and I don't think I sent any Crown Zenith away this time, but stay tuned. I have opened some Crown Zenith, so there are cards to send away for grading, for see what we get back for those as well. So appreciate it as always. See you next time.